sisters, all praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us another day in our life. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the khair of this day and protect us from evil. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Hassan Basri rahmatullah alayhi mentions, Abdullah ibn Mubarak mentions in his Kitab al-Zuhud on the authority of Hassan al-Basri rahmatullahi alayhi regarding how Shaitan works on deceiving an individual and what type of people become a threat to Shaitan. So he mentions in the Shaitan إِذَا رَأَى الرَّجُلُ مُدَاوَمًا عَلَى عَمَلٍ فَبَغَى. When Shaitan sees an individual being punctual upon an action, then his main effort is to take him out of punctuality, not to stop him from the action, rather bring break in his sequence. Because breaking the sequence, it is better for Shaitan or more effective for Shaitan than for him to make you stop the amal. And that's one of the ways that Shaitan, he works with and he plays with the minds of individual. Because when a person, he is punctual upon a good deed, then he is keeping Shaitan away from him. Why? Because al-mudawama, it's the strongest thing. Having to have punctuality and good deeds, this is a very strong thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted. And this is why it is been recommended by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that a person continues to do good deeds at all time. Otherwise, when a person leaves himself from good deed, then Shaitan finds his way somehow inside without this individual realizing. And what happens is, the first thing Shaitan does is stops an individual from having punctuality. So he will make you do the action sometimes, and sometimes he will find a way, an excuse to take you out of the action. So as long as Shaitan succeeds in making you lose your amal sometimes, that is enough for him to come and overpower you. That is sufficient. It's not that he needs to take you out from a good deed. It's just he needs to break the sequence. And when he breaks the sequence, طَمَعَ فِيكَ, then he has this desire inside, he has this spark inside that I can still take him away from the good deeds that he is trying to do. So what is the thing that an individual can do to protect himself? Because you have all these different traps of Shaitan that you can't even realize and neither you can understand. Because the areas that he comes and he penetrates inside, it is very difficult. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us certain a'mal that we can continue to do in our life. Like for example, the story of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. The famous story when Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he appointed Abu Hurairah to take care of Baytul Mal at night. And then there was this man starts to come and he starts to take from the wealth of people. And Abu Hurairah caught him and he said to him that, you cannot be stealing from the wealth of the people. So he said, I'm in very need and I have this and I have this condition and that condition. Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu felt pity and then he let him go. He let him have what he wanted and let him go. He's a needy individual. So next morning the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ya Abu Hurairah, what happened to the prisoner of last night? Where did he go? So Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, he complained to me about his need, so I let him go. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Innahu saya'ud. He's going to come back again. You watch out. So Abu Hurairah said, next night, I was actually waiting for him because the Prophet ﷺ said he's coming back. So he came back and he started to take from the wealth of the believers from Baytul Mal. I caught him again. Same thing. He gave the same excuse. I let him go, felt pity upon him. Next morning, the Prophet ﷺ asked that, what happened, Abu Hurairah, to your prisoner last night? Abu Hurairah said, Ya Rasulullah, he complained again, I let him go. Then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, he will come back again. So the third night, this person came again. So this time Abu Hurairah said, no, it's not. Strike 3, you're out. You're done. You cannot go anymore. So he said, I will give you something that will benefit you. If you catch me, take me as a prisoner, it's not going to benefit you. But I can teach you something that's going to benefit you. And Shaitan, and this was Shaitan, and he knew that what desire individual has. What does he want? For Sahaba, it was only a'mal. So he would only offer amal to them. He would not offer them money. He would not offer them position. He would not offer them anything else. The only thing where he can actually find his way to escape from the companions of the Prophet ﷺ was to offer them action. So Shaitan said that I will teach you something that will benefit you, and at the same time it will protect you from Shaitan. So now Shaitan himself, he's giving a prescription to protect a believer from himself, from Shaitan himself. So he said, you recite Ayatul Kursi before you go to bed at night. And Shaitan, the entire night, you will be protected against Shaitan. Shaitan will not come close to you. So next morning, the Prophet ﷺ asked that, oh Hurairah, what happened? He said, Ya Rasulullah, he taught me something and I let him go. The Prophet ﷺ said, Sadaqa walakinnahu kadhubun. He said the truth, but he himself is a liar. What he said is true, but he himself is a liar. And then he told Abu Hurairah that all 3 nights that you were talking to, it was Shaitan himself. So, what a person needs to do, when a person performs a good deed, the first thing he needs to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, as you have given me opportunity to perform good deed, also give me the opportunity to continue to do this good deed in my life. Don't deprive me of it. Because if I become deprived, that means Shaitan has taken over. And I don't want Shaitan to take over. Why? Because he's my enemy. So Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmatullah alayhi mentions in the authority of Hassan al-Basri that a believer, when he has found an action which he is punctual upon, then Shaitan finds his way inside, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us to protect us from Shaitan, to seek protection from Shaitan. This is why Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, whenever you have these difficulties, recite A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This is the best dua to protect an individual from the deception of Shaitan, that he recites ta'awudh. Because now you are begging Allah to protect you against the devil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He always answers to the call of believers. We ask Allah to grant us understanding. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the ability to continue to do good deeds and protect us from the deception of Shaitan. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.